Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Counting Males podcast. I'm counting, and these are one male, and two males,
I consider that more spam mail. Anyway, welcome to the night show.
We had momentum. Spam mail?
Yeah,
Spam mail.
The stuff you get in your mailbox.
I'm familiar with
Usually,
spam, yes.
Usually credit card offers and furniture store coupons.
For me, it's usually like lonely singles in your area or this rare Mongolian fungus that causes weight loss.
That's emails. I'm talking about like actual mail.
I'm talking about spam, which was a term designed to talk about email.
The classic Arabian prince contacting me about some unprocured funds that I need to obtain.
Have you actually gotten an Arabian Prince email before?
No, but I know plenty of people that have.
I don't.
It always happens to, like, older people. I'm not entirely
I know
sure.
about the voicemail, but I don't know about the email.
Like, the only reason that I could think of is because, like...
Yeah, like, a spam caller would be like, yo, I am an Arabian Prince.
Help me, I am underwater, I am drowning, help me. But, like... For real, I think it's just old people. It's probably because they have, like, 401ks, and, like,
and they're
they
really
have
fucking
money.
gullible when it comes to the internet.
So, like, they're prime time, targets for those kinds of people running those scams. Personally, the only mail that I want to get around this time of year are love letters. Because it's Valentine's, or at least it was Valentine's about a week ago as of recording.
That's a great segue. So, Trevor, you wanted to talk about the best Valentine's Day gift, and I have two. Do you want me to start? Are you going to start? Spence, the dark horse, are you going to start?
Why is he the dark horse?
I don't know, because I have a thing, and it's your topic. So
Yeah,
I thought you were about to say because you have no bitches.
Because you got no bitches and no bread and no paper and dry ass lips.
The fuck kind of GTA quote is that?
That's something Lamar Davis would say to Franklin on a particularly bad day.
I see.
Anyways, fellas, in my honest opinion, the best thing that you can get a lady has to fall under a set of qualifications. I don't think it's one specific item, but it needs to be two different things. One, it cannot benefit you in any way whatsoever. If you buy, say, a new car...
A vacuum cleaner.
There's a lot of implications with that one. But let's say it's a new car, right? You have the ability to also drive that car. You can gain some benefit from it. Let's say you get them an Xbox or whatever because they want to play Halo. I don't know why, but a new Halo's garbage. Anyways, you get them an Xbox. You could also play on that Xbox. You might even get more enjoyment out of it. That would be a bad gift. It needs to be something that you, yourself, from my perspective as a dude, cannot enjoy whatsoever, which limits it to a few things. Usually a lot of like cosmetic things or things like flowers. Now, personally, I wanted to bring this to the discussion because my girlfriend does not share the same point of view, but I think flowers are a terrible gift for Valentine's.
Oh, man, we're about to have such a debate.
I know. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let me put in my point here. Flowers represent a temporary relationship. Flowers wilt and rot away, and I feel like they're a poor representation of what a relationship could be. Sure, it could represent something as beautiful and fleeting, but inevitably it's supposed to die and rot away, and I really don't like that implication. Therefore, I don't think it's a good gift.
Okay. So...
Tommy, your rebuttal.
So my answer to this question was flowers or chocolate.
Oh, damn.
Mostly because those are traditional and classic Valentine's Day gifts. Also, just generally, there's a rhyme that works if you don't know what to give someone a gift. It's like something to wear, something to read, something they want, something they need. And it's a great way to kind of think, oh, these are some ways to narrow it down, right? Like, my girlfriend's a big reader, so I can get her some books she really likes.
Mm-hmm. Solid.
But, like, I think flowers are a great gift, just in general, because it's something that they look at that reminds them of you, and it's something that's temporary. So eventually, you throw the flowers away, and then
And
you
you
can
get
get
new
them
ones.
more flowers.
I guess,
And it's a gift that continues to give,
well,
right?
I guess it's
Like, it
technically an
doesn't-
infinite gift glitch, but
It
at the
doesn't
same time,
it doesn't represent a fleeting relationship. It gives you several excuses to express that you're thinking about and you care about someone.
yeah, but it could be viewed from different perspectives, right? That's the way that I see it. It seems like something fleeting, and yes, you can keep getting the gift, but the fact that they rot away implies something bad. It's not like chocolate, while it is temporary, it's like something they can eat and enjoy, and it doesn't quite rot away in the same sort of dramatic way flowers do.
I mean, most flowers you can eat.
Okay,
Listen,
if your girl is
ain't eating your flowers,
she ain't the one, brother.
Both of you are both simultaneously correct and incorrect. There is a way to
All right,
win
Mr.
at this
Dark
argument.
Horse.
So,
Dark Horse.
the simplest thing to
Say
do
no shit, Tony.
is to get 11 flowers of one type. Then, you go get a photorealistic fake version of that flower.
Then you cut her wrist after
You put it in with the
organizing
other.
the
You put it
flowers
in with
a
the other.
circle.
Say so. For example, I'll say like roses. You know,
The blood
typical
sacrifice will
typical one. So
you
you get
get-
11. You get 11 real roses and one fake rose. Then what you do is you go, you give them to her, and say, "I will love you till every single one of these flowers wilts and dies.
And then, because one of them's fake, it never...
It stays forever." There you go.
See,
Boom.
This
Just
is.
fucking won.
Thank you for reminding me. Now I can expand on my point. Fake flowers are a mocking, like a misrepresentation of what a relationship should be. It's like
Fake flowers are?
I feel like it signifies a fake relationship, one that's shallow.
I beg to differ. I'd call it a commitment.
I think both of you are overthinking it, right? Listen. Girls generally like flowers. Why? Because they're pretty and they smell nice. They also are natural. They come from something that grew. So as opposed to like getting a scented painting.
That would go hard as fuck.
Scented painting.
To be fair,
Or tasteable wallpaper. The snozzberries could taste like snozzberries.
look, okay, the wood tastes like wood. I'll eat the shit out of some drywall.
Fuck your mouth.
Babe, Valentine's Day came. I got you strawberry drywall.
That's not strawberry drywall, that's asbestos.
Cotton candy.
That's insulation.
That's insulation, huh?
That's concrete, baby.
It's... You guys are both overthinking it, right? Just because the flowers rot away doesn't mean it symbolizes a relationship in peril. It's just something pretty to say, hey, I was thinking about you. Here is proof that I was thinking about you.
Either that or you get her a Nokia phone.
Here, I'll put it
Okay.
this way. I'm going to sound a bit traditionalist here. Jewelry is a good gift. Change my mind. It doesn't have to be expensive, but nice jewelry that they like. Because things like precious minerals and gems
So if they like
are eternal and pretty and everlasting.
if they like a bracelet from Party City,
Look, okay, if they want a fucking Party City bracelet,
oh wait,
They
no,
might be the
can't,
one- I don't
'cause
even know
Party
what that
City's going
qualifies
the
as.
Fuck away!
what?
Party City's closing.
That's not Skibbity. Where are we
No
supposed
more
to get all of the
parties.
cheap Halloween?
Y'all
I never
ruined
bought
it.
anything
Nobody
there
bought
anyway,
anything
honestly.
from them anymore. No
It's
more
all cheap
parties.
shit. Look,
No
it's
one
not
gets a
Halloween, it's
party.
Valentine's Day. Look, jewelry's a good gift. It's eternal, it's pretty, it's shiny. Only the girl's gonna ever use it.
Well, yeah. It's also expensive.
Unless you get the diamond
I
encrusted
get that.
copper
I
in.
feel that. I understand.
and
It is a
sometimes,
good gift. It's not the only gift.
Sometimes it's too much. Like, if you've only been seeing someone for a little bit, you don't really know if there's a future or not, then sometimes it's too much to just be like, oh, yeah, by the way, here's expensive jewelry. or just jewelry in general. It can be misread as
like
being
I said,
like
that's not
overcommitting.
That's not the only option. I'm just saying that's a very good option.
You know what's never a bad option?
What?
Flowers. You show up with a bouquet of flowers.
I've played these games before.
You show up with a bouquet of flowers in your hand. You're like, hey, I got you these. And it's always a good thing.
I'd rather roll up
I have to agree.
with a tray of chocolates.
Why not both?
Why not both? Fucking you slacking if you ain't doing
The
both.
flowers rot. The flesh writhes.
Listen, just because the flowers rot doesn't make them a bad gift. They just get to enjoy them while they're there, and then when they're gone, you can remember them again while you're out and about and be like, hey, I should get more flowers.
I don't know. I'd rather get them like a nice dress or something. Or like, some perfume might do.
Okay. The thing about perfume, and I've played these games before.
I've played these games before, those who know.
You have two options with perfume, right? You can either be like, I'm going to get the perfume they wear, or I'm going to try to guess what they might like. And both options are generally bad because sometimes they'll be shopping for perfume and they'll want their old perfume or they'll want something different. And if you try to guess what they want, men and women have different noses generally. You're gonna guess fucking wrong.
I guess, yeah.
Like, you literally cannot mess up with flowers. It's always good. Maybe it's not dramatic, maybe it's not very grandiose, maybe it goes away in time, but it's always good in the moment.
I guess that's fair. I still don't think it exactly budges my point. Maybe I think too much on the flowers, but I feel like I can back up the rest of my choices with, like, the same level of logic.
I guess, but, like, you shouldn't evaluate how good a gift is based on how long it lasts. Like, what if you're like, oh, I'm gonna get them this dress, and then the dress rips, and you're like, I guess this is important that we're not meant to last.
Well,
Sorry.
That's not something that's predictable.
Right, but, like...
If the dress rips, the fucking dress rips, bro.
I don't know,
The flowers are always gonna rot, dude.
Yeah, but they're nice while they're there. And then it gives you an excuse to get them more flowers.
You know what? We'll leave it at this. Agree to disagree.
All right.
Spence?
I still like my idea. I think that flowers are good.
I'm the dark horse here now.
Well, I mean,
Well, buddy. Well.
I agree with Tommy. It's like it's not it's symbolic, but I don't think we need to read into it
my
that much.
sentimentalism.
I mean, I'm sure there are girls that would take it that way. But at the end of the day, I still like my idea. Just having the one rose, even though it is fake, but as a symbol of basically your love for them.
I mean, that is suave as fuck and very cool. But also, that line goes kind of hard and might be too much too soon, depending on the
depends.
situation.
Like, if you're a few months in, don't do that.
Don't do that.
If you're like 2 years in, go ahead and do that. So, then. Because otherwise, if you were only a few months in, that could get you a visit from HR.
You know, before we hop on to our next topic, my girlfriend got me a trebuchet for Valentine's Day.
That goes so hard. That's the best gift ever.
I know, right?
Is this a miniature version or full size?
I wish it was full size,
That would
but
be amazing.
a miniature fits in our apartment. I just have a trebuchet.
Does it-
Lob
is it functional?
small stones off the patio onto unsuspecting
It's supposed
victims.
to be. We're pretty sure it is. We were building it last night. We only built about half of it. I ended up stabbing my finger, and we have some knots to tie.
The bloody finger.
But it's almost done, and I have a trebuchet now.
That's awesome.
Holy shit.
It's
Elden Ring reference.
Literally the best present ever. Sorry, I had to bring that up because I was like, I'm thinking, oh yeah,
That's a thing that happened. That's just cool
Trebuchet.
as fuck.
It's just cool as fuck.
Anyway, so to the next topic. So you guys remember back in school when you would have Valentine's Day parties? Like
Yeah.
everyone,
Parties was a bit of an exaggeration.
Okay, everyone they would bring in those little cards that have the Valentine's really cheesy lines on it, etc. You know, everything like that.
And then even though it was your birthday, no one would give you one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Those who know.
The flesh writhes.
Sorry. Anyway, I moved on. I totally wasn't emotionally scarred by that.
Okay.
Um,
Valentine's Day is so cool, bro.
Anyway,
I love it. It's my favorite.
so again, I was just thinking the other day, I was like, it's probably a good thing that we don't have those kinds of parties at work or in your adult life now.
I feel like you'd be at such a risk for getting like a case.
A lot of those cards, even though they're like made for kids, if adults swap them at someplace like your work, yeah, you'd probably be sent to HR really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. There's a lot more implications that can be made, and that's really bad.
Yeah, also, it's just... Like, it's cute when kids exchange cards, I guess, but if you as an adult just walk up to someone and hand them a card, it becomes much more awkward.
It's like, how do you disengage from that? Like, you hand them the card, you make eye contact. Do you wait for them to read it? Do you stand there? What do you do then? Do you just sit there and, like, hit the fucking idol pose and just go, yeah, while they read it? Or do you just, like, walk away and then not get their reaction and then just hit them up later at some point? Either way, it's bad. I guess you make, like, do you make conversation after they read it? And what's the, like, at that point, you could just get your point across by saying what's on the card.
If our work had a Valentine's Day party, you'd be my Valentine.
Bro,
we could be each other's Valentine. To be fair, all we can put on the card is those who know. And that would be it. There would be no Riz involved.
You can make Valentine's Day cards with your little logo here, and it just says "those who know" underneath it. And then you can
It's not a Valentine's Day card. That's an ad, bro.
And then you can just mass produce them.
Yeah, just get everyone at work to listen to our podcast.
Great idea. Fantastic idea.
That's it, Trevor.
No.
We need to print one of these off with the Spotify link and put it on your toolbox.
You know what? We'll try it out next Valentine's Day or something.
Please don't. I get what Spence is saying, though. Like, you can make people much more uncomfortable as an adult than you could as a kid.
Yeah, because kids were like,
because
whatever.
back then it was
really
more of Valentine's Day, more along the lines of giving each other candy.
There was a lot more innocence attached to it.
Nowadays, you give someone a Valentine's Day card, it typically means you want a bone.
You give them candy, they'll think it's a roofie.
Oh God, don't give them Smarties.
And if that's the case, HR's definitely getting involved, brother.
Unless they your plug.
Well, any more comments on the Valentine's Day work HR party stuff?
Nope. Just in general, probably a safe bet not to do that unless you don't like your job and want to get fired.
I guess it's a really good way to figure out who's the 10 and who's the 1. Like, think about it. You just figure out who has the most cards and who has the least cards, and then you scale everyone in between. It's really inhumane and kind of terrible, but, like, you could figure out where everyone's, like, appearance ranks by other people's standards.
I don't know if you could, because, like, a lot of people who are just very wholesome would probably end up with a bunch of cards. And a lot of people who have, like, a lot of friends would. And some people are married, and some people know that, so they'd only get cards from friends.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of nuance to it.
Yeah, it's not like in grade school, where it's just like the popular kids trade candy, and you sit alone and be sad.
You know, funny enough, you weren't the only one to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, but now we have a podcast! Yeah! Winning!
Hashtag winning, baby. Those who know.
God damn it.
So,
did you guys know, apparently, we've stopped making pennies?
Oh, yes.
I don't know why I'm asking you guys. I was the only one who didn't know when we brought this up before the show.
So it's interesting point.
So,
it takes 2 cents to make a penny. I know that.
Actually,
no.
It's like 5 cents.
No, you're also wrong. I checked, and currently a penny costs 3.7 cents to make. meaning the U.S. Treasury, on average, at least according to last year's statistics, loses about $70 million making pennies.
Did you watch the CGP Greg
Yes.
video?
Yes,
I did too.
Yo!
I'm subscribed. I need to go check his channel back out.
Yeah, no, I watched that too, and I was like, huh, yeah.
Now, funnily enough, the U.S. makes, on average, 5 billion pennies a year, which before 2008, it was actually 11 billion. I want you to guess how many they've made this year, up to late February.
3.
Well, it's higher than that.
400 billion.
You tweaking off to Zaza.
I am.
You get one more guess.
I highballed it. 40 billion.
300,000
Oh,
pennies
that's a lot.
out of the treasury. They make 5 billion a year. We are currently 1/6 of the way into the year, and they've made 300,000. That's not even a drop in the bucket, brother. And Trump has officially made an order, not through Congress, but just straight up to the U.S. Mint and Treasury, to halt all production of pennies. And they intend on using a system where they round up. That's right. Round up to the nearest nickel.
Are pennies going to become defunct?
I think
They're going to, like, slowly phase them out. It's like, it's not going to be instantaneous, from what I understand.
I think they're still going to produce them in small quantities. So I can only go off of the single video that I have seen. And he likened it to, like, the $50 and $2 bills of the modern day mint, where they make them,
currencies
but
that we've,
in
like,
small quantities.
Yeah. So
I
they
think-
keep, like, what are they called? Numinalists?
Yeah.
The guys that collect, like, rare, outdated mints.
they
like wheat pennies, stuff like that.
they print this kind of currency basically on the principle that it's going to be only used by them. So my belief is it will slowly decline until it reaches a certain amount.
I would also like to note during this segment that nickels also lose the U.S. a massive amount of money. About 15 million last year.
I just had a shower thought. I have to interrupt.
Okay.
NFTs
Oh, God.
are
What?
just Zoomer coin collectors.
Shut the hell up.
No, there are people who think that they're actually getting something but are really just getting scammed.
No, they're just gamblers with extra steps. They don't want to...
They're coin collectors, but on a digital base.
Do you think any of them really give a shit about the things they're collecting? They all bought in because they want to get rich quick.
Yeah.
How many fucking people bought the pixelated bricks and monkeys and said, damn, that shit kind of fire?
2.
I don't think too.
The market of those actual people is clearly showing in the current price because that's all the people that are left in the market. All 16 of them globally.
Kind of feel bad.
I don't. I think stupid people can spend their money however they want.
Funny monkey.
I had that shower thought and I was like, coin collectors, people who are really into NFTs.
I respect the coin collectors way more. Because they own something actually physical. And a cool representation of history.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could technically consider
There's a
the NFTs
similarity.
that too.
There's a similarity.
That reminds me.
The thing is, I'm not going to make fun of the coin collectors. Because the coins are actually cool.
I actually have a steel penny from 1943.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. There was the one year that they stopped making copper pennies, and they made them out of steel that year. Sorry, just weird side note, because we were talking about collecting coins.
That's cool.
That is literally one of the only coins that I collected.
I found 2 bicentennial quarters.
Oh,
like
that's
stuck
cool.
together.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, those might be worth something. Together, they're worth about $1.
$5. Not even.
Interesting.
I got a couple wheat pennies.
Those are cool.
They're pretty cool. They're nice to find when you're, like, getting change out of, say, I don't know.
The baller bin roll.
Yeah, baller bin roll,
Baller bin
or
roll.
perhaps a vending machine. You can get a lot of pennies out of vending machines.
When do you get pennies out of vending machines?
When they decide you do.
Yeah.
Usually,
Like, sometimes they list
most-
things for, like, $1.93.
No. Not in vending machines. Most vending machines don't even accept anything less than a quarter. Or maybe even a dime.
You'd be surprised. Brother.
No, I remember because at one point in time I tried to put in a bunch of pennies into a vending machine, and that's when I found that out because they kept spitting them out at the bottom.
I would have spat back. Teach that stupid machine a lesson. I'm the first to die in the AI uprising now. I've been marked.
Trevor, I feel like they're going to target someone much more important than you. Like the guy who has the kill switch.
Aww. So you don't think the killer robots would try and kill me?
You know who the first people who are going to die in an AI uprising is?
Who?
Anyone who can code.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I can code, just not, like, that kind.
What kind of code can you do?
Morse code.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep.
What did you just say?
It was a bunch of numbers, but I kind of forget what they actually, like, I know it's like 5 blips long, and based off of the long blips placement, it indicates whether it's anything from 0 to 9.
Uh-huh.
But I forget the order. It, like, I think it goes up and then it goes back down. But I don't remember.
Anyway, this topic is slightly derailed. Are we going...
Spencer, what the fuck is beef maxing?
Oh. Okay, so you know those long pretzel sticks?
The pretzel cigars?
Yeah.
I'm
The ones that are like about
Pretzel
like
sticks.
8 to 10 inches long. Have you ever just found yourself gnawing on one of them versus actually eating it?
Oh, indubitably.
I can't say that I have. I can't say that I have, Spence.
Anyway, the purpose I'm saying this is people who eat those and just gnaw on them are really trying to beaver max, and chewing on the pretzels is taking the edge off since they can't gnaw on wood.
No. Spence. That is not beaver maxing. No. The beavers among us. Sussy Baka. Get those, like, chocolate pops from the freezer aisle at Walmart. Right? And once they get past all the frozen deliciousness, they get to the stick. But there's still, like, chocolate essence within the bits of that stick. And they just start gnawing at it, trying to get every succulent bit of juice they can out of it. Those are the beaver maxers.
Well, that's another type of beaver maxer. Yeah, Tommy?
Can one of you define beaver maxing for me?
You want to be a beaver. You want to chew on wood.
Do you like chewing on wood, mister?
You want a weird secretion that slightly tastes like vanilla coming out of your butthole.
Okay, I'm just saying, this is kind of sussy. Like, think about it. This is like the Valentines Day episode, and we're talking about eating wood.
Wouldn't you just eat a lot of celery if you were trying to beaver max?
No, that's rabbit maxing.
That's
That's
rabbit.
different, brother.
God damn it.
I'm not a rabbit, I'm a
I've
warrior.
played these games before.
At least you said rabbit maxing and not bunny maxing. It's less sketchy that way.
Why?
Bunny maxing?
Bunny,
Okay, what's
bunnies
bunny
and
max?
rabbits are same thing.
No, bunnies are baby rabbits.
Okay.
And bunnies get used, like Playboy bunnies, like
Oh.
they're used as an innuendo much more often than
You're an
rabbits.
innuendo.
What the Sigma?
Innuendo. Innuendo.
In your window, in your walls.
I am
Let's
currently
talk
in your
about the
walls
state of the
eating the free
MCU.
cotton candy. What?
What?
The Segway has fallen off of the cliff and is currently having a stroke on the ground. Someone fed it too much wood.
You know what that segue reminds
The Segway
me
is
of?
beaver max.
You know what
It's the AI uprising.
No.
They took out the segways.
You know what that segue at the bottom of the like crevice is? Like on fire, having a stroke and covered in wood.
It's like clipping into the ground.
You know what that segue is? That's the current state of the MCU.
Honestly, yeah. If Rotten Tomatoes is anything to go by, yeah.
No condom forever, or whatever Black Panther said.
Thank you, Trevor. Very cool.
That's the current writing that we're facing in the MCU.
I mean,
No. But the writing isn't that much far
I was about to
off.
say, that's fire.
we did get a Black Panther movie without Black Panther, which was kind of weird.
So how did they do that? Okay, disclaimer: I haven't seen any MCU movie since Infinity War.
You mean Endgame?
You watched Endgame with us, bro. Remember? We all went to the theaters when it came out.
Never mind. Since Endgame, so I can't really say much on any of these movies.
I mean,
that's a lie. Because we watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
That is true.
Which counts as an MCU movie because the TVA from Loki season 2
shows up and they're there. The TVA is so fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Why are there just humans? They can literally travel through time, and the best creatures that they chose are normal ass dudes from Earth. What the fuck is wrong with them?
It's easier not to see. It's to save money on CGI.
You know what's wild about the TVA?
That's so meta, bro.
So, number one, the TVA is run by Kang the Conqueror, who's a villain who they had to cancel the arc of because the guy who was playing him got convicted of some melon-related activities. That's a deep cut, those who know.
We can't keep getting away with it.
I guess for context, we were tasting liquid death on one of our episodes, and one of the flavors is convicted melon.
It's convicted melon.
And
those who know,
I said it was convicted of assault. Anyway, guy who played Kang was convicted of assault of some kind, I believe. So the boss of the TVA got erased from the MCU, which means there's no reason for the TVA to exist anymore. So
why didn't they just recast?
Well, they kind of have this idea that characters are mantles that actors hold since Robert Downey Jr. was a thing.
Well, yeah, but then they killed him. And if they removed that character from the MCU,
how did no one have
at least that person
when that happened?
Why don't they just recast it and re-record the scenes with him in it, and then just kind of paste it?
Just get another fucking dude.
Because
the scenes aren't even that.
If that's the case, then he was basically the mastermind behind it, and
the scenes can't even be that hard to shoot anyway, dude.
Then there's no reason for the TVA. For the TVA
Time Violation Association, I think.
For them to even exist, other than just general
guy named
timeline police.
Yeah, it's wild. So I think we're supposedly in phase 5 or 6 now.
There's phases.
Yeah, so phase 1.
This is confusing.
Phase 1 was all the movies before the first Avengers film and the first Avengers film. Phase 2 was all the movies before the second Avengers film and the second Avengers film. And Phase 3 was all the movies leading up to Infinity War and Endgame, and Infinity War and Endgame. Phase 4 was everything after Endgame, and Phase 5 was everything...
They don't know where the line is, brother.
They don't. I'm sure they do.
I'm being completely honest with you. I watched, the original Hulk movie, and then outside of that, I'm pretty sure I've watched every movie that Spence has.
Really?
Yes. I don't think... No, not the original Hulk movie, but the 2006 one.
Yeah.
That one was good.
The redone one, that one I really did like.
That one was good. Very good.
Very good.
But yeah, I'm just trying to clarify that point that I'm about as well in the know as this guy is.
So basically what happened after Endgame is they didn't have a star anymore, so they just tried to do a bunch of experimental shit on Disney Plus to see what would stick. And what stuck was absolutely nothing. Nobody likes anything that's come out recently, and it's becoming a problem for Disney's bottom line.
Skill issue. They should make better stuff.
They really should.
They should stop farming. Bro, they're literally treating their IPs like an idle game. It's like, dude, we just keep putting money in it and it's supposed to make more money. It's exponential.
Yeah. It really feels like they stopped caring, too, because they stopped bothering to keep continuity between films. So there are a lot of films and or Netflix shows that greatly change how the multiverse was supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
But then they don't remember those rules. So the multiverse has been a huge part of Marvel movies for the past few years, but the multiverse can't exist because of
Right.
how they established time travel to work in Endgame.
Uh-huh. We talked about this before. They just straight up break that rule later on.
They do. They
Time
break that rule
realigning.
in Endgame. So they continue to break it and create a multiverse that may or may not exist because of variances in the
Realistically,
timeline.
it was a cheap way for them to keep like pushing out content because like
Well, it's weird because it gets really inconsistent. Like, Kang the Conqueror, he's supposed to have, like, one timeline to prevent timeline wars, is his thing. So he just purges and kills off any timeline that isn't the sacred timeline, right?
Mhm.
But there's a problem with that, and that's that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and every other multiverse film, it establishes that there is an infinite number of multiple realities. So
and they
there's no
actively go into them,
consequences.
so they all exist, which means Kang's not doing a good job of eliminating all of these.
But in the show Kang shows up in, or his association shows up in, it shows that there's just one sacred timeline. But in Deadpool and Wolverine,
They just straight up go to another.
yeah,
They go to multiple to find the perfect Wolverine.
that's right.
So
So are they multiple realities or multiple timelines? Is there a substantial difference? I don't think there is. I think like there is no sacred timeline ? What the fuck was the point of Loki then?
There is a point of a sacred timeline when the plot line requires a point to the sacred timeline.
I guess so. It's very. I just wanted to
You-
talk about
this-
the overall state of things because it's just.
how the fuck do they purge timelines?
Kang can just erase them.
Well, that's really, really, really fucking OP.
Well, I mean, we did see
does get
in,
taken out
the
by
Deadpool
Ant-Man, though.
Wolverine movie.
Did he climb in his butthole?
No.
Literally fucking F tier garbage shit. No wonder why they're not selling anything.
You know, this actually happened in Invincible. I don't know if any of you guys are
I
watching.
haven't been keeping up. I'm
No.
sorry, brother.
So, in season 2 of Invincible, they introduce a character. Her name is Shrink Ray, and she can make herself small and big. She can't go giant mode, not yet. Maybe she
Wait
can
a second.
later.
I think I seen a clip about this. Yeah, she goes inside of someone and they like contract her and she breaks all of her bones inside of them.
Yeah, she breaks every bone in her body because her expanding in his body wasn't enough to injure him.
Mm-hmm.
And we're pretty sure she died.
Wasn't it like one of the blue dudes?
No, it was a
Sorry,
just
again.
a random side character. He's on the Lizard League. He's a B tier villain. They were
Oh.
trying to steal a nuke.
Silly Billy.
They're Nazis in lizard costumes. He's the one with muscles.
Wow.
It's a funny joke.
Are we allowed to say that?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Absolutely.
Are we?
We're not putting them up on a pedestal or supporting them in any way. We're talking about a media that actively portrays them.
This is actually a good time to talk about overall, like, what words
Censorship?
are okay to say online, right?
No.
All right. Ready?
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What were you gonna say, Trevor?
All of them.
All of the words.
We were going to test and see which one got us to go.
I love that.
You know,
Later episode.
they do have a list, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm not saying any of them right now.
Oh, they have a list?
Yeah, there's a list in
Okay.
the terms of service.
Can you see if worshippers of that weird German painter are on the list?
Is those who know on there?
Oh, we're so
I
bad.
feel like it should be.
We're so bad. We're doing some live research, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. We found out via that scene in Invincible exactly why that wouldn't work in graphic detail.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. Because I've always explained that plot hole. Like, Ant-Man is not that
Just
strong.
expand in his butthole, dude.
No, like, Thanos' butthole is
But-
stronger than Ant-Man is.
Yeah,
He
so Ant-Man would just get crumpled.
Yeah. Ant-Man's slushy would just kind of
Like, ooze out of his butthole.
Yeah.
Okay, what if he had, like, hard plates around him or something that expanded with him?
I think there's a universe where he shrinks down with something as durable as Thanos and, like, does that.
Hold on. I got an idea.
Okay.
So Ant-Man has access to shrinking abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can he make other things shrink too?
Yeah, he has shrink grenades.
Dude, just take like a steel ball, okay? Fucking what's the hardest material again? Is it like vanadium?
I mean, diamonds are the hardest material.
There's a specific material,
Vibranium?
vibranium. Yes, that's
Okay.
the one that like Captain America's shield is made of.
Yes.
That shit hard as hell, right?
Well, it's a vibranium adamantium alloy, but yeah,
Okay,
it's hard as hell.
hard as shit, right?
You know what?
Put a tiny shrunken ball directly into his butthole, and then expand it and watch him explode as this orb of metal erupts from his innards.
Okay, so we do see Thanos destroy Captain America's shield.
Yeah, but what is he gonna do? Destroy the orb as it's ripping his butthole open?
Does he have the Infinity Gauntlet when they're doing this?
Yes, but is he aware?
I think
I feel like the orb would rip him apart before he could react with the gauntlet.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, bro, it has to work that way.
Sorry, we saw him deflect an infinite number of Doctor Strange's magic attacks.
Damn
right?
it.
Like, they threw a moon at him and he was fine. I'm pretty sure that there's a way he gets around that.
Man, he's too OP.
He might be. But, sidebar, Ant-Man is really dumb and uncreative when it comes to his shrinking and growing tech.
Yeah, he could do so much more with that shit, dude.
Yeah, it always bugs me in media when, like, heroes don't use their powers in creative or clever ways.
Like, honestly, why doesn't he make a bunch of shrink nets that he can just throw at people and then shrink them inside the net and then put them in jars? There you go. Captured this villain. Bring it over to a maximum security prison. Here you go. Take out the net. Big again. Bye-bye.
Well,
You're in prison.
You do need
Get
to
fucked, idiot.
you do need to wear a suit to get shrunk, otherwise it like fucks with you and you die.
Let's say maybe the nets have the same functionalities.
To be fair, in the comics and an animated TV show, Ant-Man has a prison, which is just he shrunk everybody down so that it's just this itty bitty tiny like prison.
It's like a little model building
full
basically.
of tiny prisoners, and he tries to rehabilitate people in there.
Okay, one, that's based as fuck. But two, you see what I mean? Like, he could just keep doing that.
I think he has a specific process to shrink them down is the issue.
I see.
So
he has to contain them first. He can't just shrink them in a shrink net.
yeah, because generally Ant-Man can only like control his own size or people who put on an Ant-Man suit size.
Right.
So he has to put them in a suit and take the suit off. Spence.
Yes.
So,
I
question.
see you've approached us.
Yes.
We are technically, you set us up with explicit content. Right?
Yes. The funny list.
So technically, we are, since we are
We are
explicit,
so back, baby.
there
Don't say any of them.
there's not a specific word set that at least I can find of words you can't say on Spotify.
Huh.
But the thing is, if you are explicit or flagged as explicit, they will gray out your content and skip it automatically. So unless you're specifically looking for that content, you probably won't find it.
Well, to be fair, we're already marked as that.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
We
So-
intentionally mark it as that.
But if say something that isn't explicit is flagged, they will then.
So it's like if you aren't honest about the rating and they find that you are not being honest about the rating, they will flag it as like a special version of explicit where you just get skipped. But if you specify that it's explicit beforehand, you can still like get your content viewed all the same. It's just it's under the explicit tag.
Yeah.
So just don't lie.
Yeah.
Solid.
So I don't know whether or not
So we can say the words.
I don't think
Listen, you'll summon Exodia if you say all the words.
I don't think
He'll
that
Oh,
it's a
that's
good-
crazy.
I don't think it's a good idea to say the words.
Do you remember Keith? He said all the words and got erased from the timeline. I'm the only one who remembers him now. I feel like I'm going insane. Do you remember Keith?
Those who know? You're the only one that knows. You're those who know.
I'm that who knows.
I am the one who knows.
I am the one who knows.
Walter. Walter, you gotta feed me, Walter.
Alright. Yeah, I just wanted to go on a rant about the MCU. It's just such a
been very
confused
inconsistent.
mess. It's full of a bunch of plot holes. They keep going back and forth on what's canon. You know, Reed Richards got played by that guy from The Office, and he immediately got recast as Pedro Pascal in the MCU attached Fantastic Four movie coming out this year.
Oh, why? Why would they do that?
Well, because
They just cast him.
because they killed him.
Oh, shit.
They deadass killed that version in the multiverse. They were like, Pedro Pascal's Mr. Fantastic now.
Well, I guess that's one way to tell the actor that you don't want to work with him anymore.
So that's actually the Human Torch, not Mr. Fantastic.
Really?
The one that's on fire?
I thought Pedro Pascal was Reed Richards. Who's
Yeah.
Reed Richards?
I don't keep up.
Reed Richards is Mr. Fantastic.
I
about
know
to say.
who Mr. Fantastic is. Who's playing Mr. Fantastic?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought it was Pedro Pascal.
Maybe.
I don't know. Look,
I thought you were
dude,
talking
you're
about
telling
the
me
guy
this
who
cool
played
information.
the Human Torch in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie.
Oh, that's Chris Evans. That's
Yes.
Captain America.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the guy who played Reed Richards in
Oh, in the
Multiverse
Multiverse
of
of Madness.
Madness.
I forgot
the
about
guy
that.
from The Office.
Yeah.
This is
got killed.
this is an even worse sign.
You got
There's
Nene.
3 now.
No, there's only 2. Well,
What about the
Confusing,
Council
isn't
of
it?
Reeds?
Multiverse garbage.
What about the Council of Reeds?
the Council of Reeds isn't canon.
Are
to
they?
The MCU.
Are they going?
That sounds
oh,
like
please! That would be
dude,
so funny if
That
they
sounds
made
like
that
a
into
gay
the new.
group chat, dude.
uh,
Council of
Council
Reeds.
That would be so funny if that made it into the new Fantastic Four movie. The Council of it's basically all of the Reed Richards from all the Fantastic Fours
whip them
of
dicks
all the
out, and they're all
multiverses come together and make the Council of Reeds.
He's not being particularly correct. Generally, in most universes that happen in the Marvel multiverse, Reed Richards gets the Infinity Gauntlet, usually after or before Thanos,
Uh-huh.
and just they meet from time to time and just hang out and talk about how best to govern their universes.
They chill like that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, they do be chill.
They do be chill like that. Although Reed Richards also does spousal abuse and a bunch of other awful things.
Not
so.
Skibbity.
He's
not Skibbity.
He's not always the best guy.
He made it into Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, sometimes he's a cool dude. The Fantastic Four used to be Marvel's, like, premier superheroes. There was
Indubitable.
one time Spider-Man tried out for them.
It didn't go well.
It did not go well. But he is homies with Human Torch. Spider-Man
That
and the
means
Human
something.
Torch are like...
They vibe.
They chill as fuck.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat.
Also, Spider-Man was briefly roommates with Captain Britain.
Who the fuck is Captain Britain?
He's the British version of Captain America.
Is there?
And he was going to college with Spider-Man, and they were awful college roommates to each other because they both had double lives as superheroes.
Fuck is Captain Britain's powers, dude?
He's...
Does he have like a beholder eye, but instead of an anti-magic field, it's like a tooth decay field? So like he looks at you long enough and your teeth just start to fall out?
I'm pretty sure his canonical powers are, I'm slightly stronger than the average person, and I have a utility belt.
Okay, so he's every single like
You don't even
Mexican
have a shield?
construction worker ever.
You don't have a utility belt,
He has a
or
utility
he
belt.
don't have a shield. I mean,
I don't know if Captain Britain does or not. I don't know anything about the guy.
live research.
Does his
again.
blood run with tea?
I
What?
bet it does, but that's not a superpower. That's just what your blood is like if you live in Britain for long enough.
It's one of the effects of the Fallout Zone.
It's the scarlet rot touches everything and
my
infects everything it touches.
Dude, he's like Mikola, but with British.
You know,
That goes hard.
I think it was Stan Lee or Jack Kirby or one of the important comic book guys was actually told at one point that Captain Britain didn't need to be a thing, and neither did like Captain Canada or anything like that, because like Captain America sort of transcends the idea of like a national superhero.
Just like representing a nation. What?
Also, you know, Adam, I think it is, from DC. He's like a silver dude, and he has red gloves and a big like starburst on his chest that's also red.
Huh? Maybe. The only Adam I know about is Adam Warlock, but that's not a DC guy.
No, it's not.
The only Adam I know is Adam West from the original Batman.
He's the guy who in one of the many DC animated series walks up to Batman and goes, "Boom, you're dead. Boom, you're dead again."
I didn't know about that, bro. There's like another Adam. He didn't eat the apple. He was just chill up there in the Garden of Eden.
Anywho, he has this red starburst on his chest, and for my entire childhood, I called him Captain Canada. Because I thought he was like Canadian Captain America.
Boom, you're dead. Dude, he's a Costco guy. Boom. What? He's Captain Costco. Boom.
God damn it.
That's awesome. Why don't... Dude, Marvel would make so much money if they cast Captain Costco.
He's a DC guy.
No, they wouldn't.
sorry.
They're actually losing money on the hot dogs.
That's the point. It's called loss leading. Okay?
What?
Loss leading. They lure
you.
custom... What the shit?
Yeah, they lure customers in.
They lure customers in
With
with
a
the
hot
cheap
dog.
hot dog, and then they look at all the bulky, expensive shit on the shelves and go like, well, like, I'm already here, so... And then they walk out with $800 worth of shit.
No, I just go there for the $1 hot dog.
Well, some people do, but the majority of people fall for that trap.
Who
And
the
that's how
heck
they
I-
make their money off of it. It's called loss leading. It's the same reason why PlayStation and Xbox sell their consoles at a loss. Because their consoles cost more than they sell them for. But selling the headphones, and the memberships, and the games, and all the other stupid-ass accessories makes them so much extra money in the process. Sorry, I got a bit off topic there.
You know, GTA 6 is going to be $100.
I swear,
What?
dude, if that becomes the standard, I'm gonna be upset because every other company is gonna look at Rockstar selling their flagship game for $100 and be like, you know what, guys, we're pretty good at this thing. We could sell our game like that too, and then that's just gonna become the new $60. I mean, to be
now
fair, it's
they're
$70 now, but
$70.
okay, 70 to 100 is really big of a jump.
Let me just say this. I haven't bought a game for more than $30 in over 4 years.
Look, Steam sales go crazy.
Not
all I
only
got to
that,
say.
but I just haven't gotten any big AAA games lately.
None of them are worth half the fucking price.
A lot
they
of the
charge
games,
for them.
a lot of the games that I play are like the indie, small games.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they raise their price to $100, I can't imagine that'll do good for sales.
It won't.
They're just pricing people out, and then. But the problem is, like the whales will just dump a bunch of money into it, and it's fine.
You know how we can avoid them
The
pricing
flesh
people
rides.
out?
What?
We can just play a bunch of live service games.
Or
Solid.
do you remember?
We
you
just
remember
play
when they were
Marvel
talking
Rival.
about
There's no way that could backfire. What if every game was a live service game? How could that possibly go wrong?
Look, okay, this all started because of that damn horse armor add-on for Oblivion.
Do you know that they were before they announced about the $100 thing? They were talking about paying per hour played.
I do remember that. That quote did get taken out of context, but it was still pretty disgusting.
Dude, that's almost as bad as fucking surge pricing.
Yeah,
Imagine having to rent your game by the hour.
some primal part of my monkey brain is mildly interested in surge pricing, simply because I'm always thinking, will I be that guy who's lucky and gets it when it's really cheap?
No.
No, I won't.
Look, that drove a bunch of people away from Wendy's, okay?
Wendy's lost hella money for saying shit like that.
Yeah, surge pricing.
Doesn't work.
Nope.
No.
At least not for publicity.
You know what does work?
What?
And this is one of the only situations I'm happy AI is getting involved, because it's almost always a bad thing.
kind of hate AI's integration into literally everything. But go ahead.
I went to a drive-thru the other day, and
Oh,
my
no.
order
The
got
AI
taken
order?
by an AI.
Okay, you know what you do? You go up, you hear the AI voice, and you go, "Hello, I would like to order I would like to order 40,000 water cups." And you will always get a human after every single time. Like, the AI voice will go like, "Sure, what can I... Hey, what do you want?"
They just pick up the phone like, all right, bitch, what the fuck do you want?
There is a bypass. It works every time.
Listen, I get it, but also, the AI has a better hit rate than people do for taking my order in the drive-thru.
No, it's the people who
kinda.
fill the order.
Yeah. Like, the
Is
AI
it?
filling the order has a much better hit rate
Than the
than
people.
the people.
Though it's getting rid of more jobs. That's bad.
Well,
Listen. I'm in favor of the AI getting rid of any job people don't want to do.
yeah.
So, like,
I guess
the
that's
majority of the
fair.
jobs that people don't want to do are things that AI can't do.
But it's a step in that direction.
Right. It's like this, right? Like, I don't want AI to take writers and artists, like, jobs.
Isn't that the funniest shit that people made AI to do the jobs that they don't want to do so they can focus on art, writing, things like that, creative shit. Mm-hmm. The first thing we use AI for is art, creative shit, writing.
And it's awful at it!
And it's awful. All the fucking weird ass fingers. And then the writing's all the exact
The
same.
porn. Porn is ruined, dude.
Ugh.
At least porn artists. Dude, it's not even a joke. Like, people that work off of commission drawing, like, lewd art are just completely broke now. It's not even a joke.
Well, RIP, I guess.
Those people have lives, too.
I guess they do, yeah. I mean...
There could be, like, parents that are making ends meet off of drawing, like, the worst, most horrendous shit ever because people asked them to. But at least that means they get to be a stay-at-home parent and take care of their kid while also sort of managing their own business, quote-unquote, so they don't have to answer to a shitty boss. There's a lot of benefit to be found in that, albeit it is kind of disgusting.
Are you...
Listen, I think lewd artists obviously have careers and lives and are obviously people deserving of respect, even if their job is not a very respectable one.
It is definitely not.
I guess
They're being their jobs are being taken, bro.
I guess it's like this, right? Like, my sympathy receptors are set up more towards people who are less on the fringe of society. So, like, I'm more like, it sucks that this D&D book had fucking AI artwork in it. Or these Magic the Gathering cards, probably made by AI. Like, that to me sucks.
Over the porn artists.
Yeah, but, like, a porn
get
artist losing, like, 50% of their commissions because people who want to see, like, Rainbow Dash farting, went to an
The
AI
first thing
instead.
that came to mind.
I was trying to think...
damn.
I was trying to think of awful internet fetishes.
Fucking weirdo.
I was trying to think of awful internet fetishes that don't sound horrendous, and that is what I got. Alright. I feel like that's bad for those people, but, like, not for art in general. It's just bad for perverts and the people profiting off of the perverts.
Oh my god.
But,
I just
like,
had a thought.
Art in general is suffering.
What was your name?
No. I was thinking about, like, how AI messes up fine details like fingers and such, and I'm thinking about, like, for example, how AI would develop blueprints for, like, buildings and such, and they just fuck up, like, small details, and you'd end up with, like, a roundabout that has, like, a bunch of fingers coming out of it, like asphalt phalanges.
To be fair,
To be fair.
When AI first started, it was absolutely god-awful, like, abstract Picasso shit.
It is really bad.
However, nowadays it has gotten to the point where it's almost good, minus probably the fingers and eyes.
It's very hard to tell sometimes. Like, you really have to inspect an image sometimes. Sometimes it fucks it up, but if you get it to generate properly, you have to really look at details to, like, figure out it's an AI image.
Yeah. And the only thing I can see is just it getting better at that till the point where it can accurately and correctly make the drawing. Although how long it's going to take between now, unfortunately, I lost where I was. God.
Listen, I was thinking about like disgusting internet fetishes.
AI usually does too.
Oh boy,
it gets lost in the fingers.
Okay, well, that's lovely. On the bright side, I think if AI really does try to take over like humanity, it'll do a really, really awful job of it.
You don't think it would comprehend the ways to, like, torture and enslave us?
I don't think AI comprehends anything. It just sort of responds to, like, stimuli.
No, because AI, right now, we don't even have AI. All we have are super complex if-then sequences.
Yeah.
That's all AI is nowadays.
I mean, counterpoint, what if the AI eventually becomes a mommy?
It can't think because it's not true AI. It's basically a shambling mound of Python code masquerading as artificial intelligence.
Turned into the shape of a dummy mommy.
To be fair, humans are just a shambling mound of reactivity and memories pretending to be an intelligence.
Look, okay, maybe that mound...
We are a brain piloting a mech suit made of bones and meat.
Maybe chains and whips excite them. The code, that is.
What the Sigma?
There is a future where AI gets freaky.
I guess it's like this, right? Like, AI seems to be really bad at anything it's attempting until it's done it, like, billions of times. Mm-hmm. I think if AI tried to take over the world...
through repetition.
It would do a really bad job of it.
It would
for, like, a really long time, and we'd have time to react and just be like, oh my god.
Oh no, we gotta hit the off button.
Oh no, it messed up the fingers again.
Oh, great heavens.
Oh, great heavens.
Well, I mean, to be fair, now we've got, like, AI kind of in cars, too. And
is AI doing the self-driving cars?
Kind of. I do know in, like, heavily populated areas with, like, busy, like, highway intersections, like, in, I think it's Austin, if I'm not mistaken, they've got separate lanes that you pay a toll to go onto. And they specifically only allow self-driving vehicles to go through there. So basically, they separate all the self-driving vehicles from the not self-driving vehicles, and they drive over there. I don't know if it's specifically in Austin, but I do know there are segments of the world that are heavily populated that have these short segments.
Spencer, what's going on?
He had a funny... There's a funny brewing in that brain.
Today's shower thought... brought to you by...
Those who know?
Those who know.
Those who know.
If you work on a farm and your job is to take care of chickens, are you a chicken tender?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
We hope everyone out there has had a fantastic Valentine's Day.
Silence was deafening.
And hasn't watched any recent Marvel movies.
May your flowers wilt and rot away. May your chocolate be tasty and your perfume be, I guess, kind of their taste. I don't know. I don't have their nose, so...
And all you...
What am I supposed to do?
And to all you beaver maxers out there...
Keep eating wood.
Keep gnawing on the wood, boy.
I've been counting on bleeding in these thin men.
And we have been males.
Oh, I thought it was counting.
Yeah.
There's a love letter in me.
There is?
What?
Because I'm male.
Ah!
Yeah!
Ba-dum-bum-ba-dum-bum.